Welcome back to the workshop. Today I'm going to talk about Chisel Storage. And I was reminded of this recently because I had responded to something on a chat site for the North Carolina woodworkers and realized I hadn't done a video on this. So a lot of people ask, how can I store my chisels? And there are different ways you can do that. Some people put it in their toolbox. See, I have mine right here in my Dutch chest. I also have the rolling tool cart. There's a video for that, and the top is got holes on top. I can put the chisels in there. It keeps them vertical, easy to access at all times. But that's in the workshop. That's not how I'm keeping them, except in the Dutch chest. That's not how I'm keeping them inside. And so, an additional thing that you can do is you can make a tool roll. And this is a tool roll. I don't know if these are commercially available. All the tool rolls I have ever seen are custom made. You need something for a project, whether it be a toolbox or a workbench, you make it yourself. And so that's what I did. What I did is I went to a one of these fabric hobby big box stores. There are plenty of them out there, and got some material. Now, most of the ones that I've seen are made of denim. But the day I went, they didn't have denim, so I got this sort of heavy-duty flannel material. Just got it in the color of green. But for my purposes, for what I'm doing, I thought this was adequate enough. So, and it is for what I do. So it's a very basic design. I'll show you what it is. And I've got some of the same material. You could also use rope or something like that to tie it up. It doesn't have to be anything fancy at all. Open it up. I've got this done a certain way so that I have a little extra padding, which is always helpful. Yeah, this is the extra padding. That rolls back, and then I have the tool roll. Let's see if I can lift this up so you can see it. There you go. That's the tool roll. Now, you can tell that I have not only chisels in here, but I also have one gouge. And so here's the gouge. This is a gouge I bought from an antique store in Verona, Virginia. It is very sharp, and I really actually have never used it because I'm afraid of getting it out of sharpness. But it might actually be used on the current project, the Parthenon. So wait and see. Now, the chisels that I keep in here, you see, we have a chisel set in here. There's actually 3 different kinds of set. This is a Marples, this is a Cobalt, and these are Stanleys. Those are just the bench chisels I use for all kinds of stuff out here in the workshop. The chisel set I keep in here is a Harbor Freight set for about $10 or so. So low pay, low price, but actually good quality, believe it or not, for what I use it for. And so I use these for dovetails. And that's all I use them for is dovetails. I keep them sharp just for that. I have retained the little tips that come with them, and that has helped with using with this. Because they're sharp, I need to put some sort of a tip on them, otherwise they'll snag on the material. Now, if you have denim, this may not be an issue. But again, like I said, I couldn't get denim that day. So I'm able to keep all of the different chisels in the roll, and it keeps everything in good condition. And of course, the roll is kept indoors, so it's not out here getting corroded from the rust, from the humidity, that sort of thing. And of course, I keep all the pieces. So this is I believe this is a 6-part set. I'll go ahead and pull those out and set those to the side. Now, this is just as a sort of a tool review. This is the kind that has the metal bands around it. And just like Paul Sellers, I'm not really sure what these things are for. They kind of move around, but they don't bother me. They're not doing anything against the work that I'm doing, so it's not that big a deal. And there's the big one. So, as you can see it, we have individualized pockets laid out, and so I have a sewing machine, and I was able to use that to make this. I'm just applying, the bottom piece and then 2 pieces on either side sewn in to make the pockets. It's a very simple design that I used, and like I said, there's this extra material. If you can sort of see, there's the pockets, and then there's an extra, and that gives me a little extra padding to push over it. And then, because when you're dealing with things that are going from this size to this size, and then you also throw in, something like this, a little extra padding could be good. Additional things that you can use a tool rule for, it's not just limited to chisels. I have one at work that's made of denim that's just for rasps and files. So you can put things like this. Obviously, at different dimensions, you'd have to measure it out to what you need. But it's a great place to put different files or that sort of thing. If the pockets are a little wider, you can fit in a spoke shave or something kind of thin like that. Even down to things like drill bits. Standard drill bits or these fancier speed bits. Actually, I've only used these once or twice. You can also do things like your auger bits if you do a brace type thing. If you're working with these types of things, if you have auger bits, you can get a tool rule for that. It's very good thing. If you use cabinet scrapers, cabinet scrapers, the burnisher for polish or for sharpening those can be used as well. There are just a lot of things that you can use, even going down to things like measuring tools. A working gauge and a rule can both be put into a tool roll. So if you are a portable woodworker, if you get up and go places and you don't want to lug this around or whatever your toolbox is, or you just need an extra place to put your tools, a tool roll, a cloth tool roll, denim tool roll is a great thing to use. I think you can also, some people are good with leather. If you're a good leather person, it's a great thing to make out of leather. It makes it a little more sturdy. Also makes it a little harder to fold. But people who work with leather, they know what they're doing. That's a great thing, a great material to use for a tool roll. Light plastic can be used as well, to the point of using something like an old shower curtain. The inner liner of a shower curtain, I'm sure, could be made into a tool roll of some sort, just to make it easier for you. And sort of that's what I look at as things that are practical. This is not a beautiful tool roll, but it allows me to get my chisels rolled up tight, put them in the house on days like this when it is very cold out here, or in the summertime when humidity is really high and stuff starts corroding. Okay, got the chisels back into the tool roll and the gouge. And so take the extra material. What this extra material is doing primarily is protecting the chisels from each other. That's the main thing it's doing. Flip this piece back over and then roll it back up. Roll back up, a little package there. I get this same material, just sort of made into a rope shape. And when I tie these things on, I give it a medical tie, which is two under, and then one. Keeps it all nice and together, and that is my cloth chisel tool roll.